Okay, so welcome to chair yoga, seated yoga. So for the next 20 minutes, we're going to spend some time together doing some fairly gentle movements to just awaken and both awaken and relax the body. So we're trying to do both of those things. So to just kind of ensure that we're getting a little bit of exercise and we're getting a little bit of movement in the body to kind of resource ourselves. So hopefully this will support you today. So we're going to start by just creating a little bit of energy in the body. So we can start by just rubbing the hands together. So you might hear the sound of your hands rubbing together and the energy, the warmth in the hands. You might have that strong feeling of hand on hand, fingertip on fingers on fingers. Might feel nice, it might feel pleasant, might really get a sense not just of the contact points on the front of the hand, but you might feel the back of the hand. You might feel a little bit of movement and energy in the wrists, in the forearms, in the elbows, in the upper arms, in the shoulder areas. So you might feel energy generating a little bit further into the body. And you might even notice that you're having a little bit of a wriggle from side to side through this movement. So actually it's the whole of the upper body that's getting a little bit of a movement. You might feel your bottom going from side to side, or your legs going from side to side, or you might just feel your hands. Yeah. So being welcoming any movement in the body from the rubbing of the hands. So settling. So there's a sort of softness in the body that will receive the vibration from the movement of the hands coming together. And there's a bit of strength going on. Yeah, so just take a little bit of tone to the upper arms and the shoulders. And then relaxing the hands down. So my hands feel really like there's lots of vibration, energy, warmth in them now. We didn't do that for very long. But really taking in that warmth, that energy, that sense of aliveness in the hands. And hopefully that might, as I say, feel that it's generating not just in the hands, but in the arms, in the shoulders, and you might even feel it in other areas of the body. And now you're taking your hands to your lap, you might feel a little bit of sensation of that warmth radiating down into the legs, and feeling that contact between the hands and the legs. Okay, and just really feeling that sensation in the body, that energy in the body. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a wake-up call for the legs, a little bit of a movement for the legs. We're going to do that with the hands. So we're going to just tap on the side of our butt, side of our bottom, down the sides of our thighs with our fingertips. Doesn't need to be a strong movement. You decide, just find a rhythm. Get down to your knees, take care there, and come back on the top of the thigh. You might go in towards the center, in towards the inner thigh a little bit before taking the circuit again. So we're dealing with inner legs, upper thighs, inner legs, outer legs, and the top of the thighs. So you finding your own route, your own rhythm, just tapping and awakening. You might find you get a little bit of space underneath the back of the thigh as well, so exploring there, either from the outside or from the inside, just waking these areas up. Now, if you're comfortable to take your hands further down to the lower legs, then that's what you're going to do. If you feel like that's not going to be comfortable for your back or any other area really that feels unsafe or pain, then you stay up here. But if you feel like you can now take your finger tapping down to the lower outside leg and come up the inner leg, then you can do that level as well. So just enlivening, making contact. It's almost like you're loosening as well, like you're softening. Kind of remind yourself you can soften in the muscles, back of the calf. If you can get to the back of the calf, it's a nice area to just soften in. And if you're doing both, you could start at the top and work your way down towards the ankles and up from the ankles all the way through to the inner thighs. One more journey if you wish to get this continuing movement, contact with the legs through the hand tapping, and then relaxing the hands. And feel the energy in the legs now, whether you just be tapping the tops of the legs or the whole of the legs, that kind of enliven, awaken. It feels a bit like maybe the sensation when you're under a shower and the water has contact with the body, that kind of stimulation, awakeness. So there's aliveness and energy, but also a softening in the body. So we awaken and we relax kind of thing at the same time. Or like the effect of a gentle massage on the body. That fuller feeling of the body, the sensation after the contact feels maybe quite pleasant and warming and releasing. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of tapping on the sides of the rib cage. So this isn't always easy to access. So you can do it this way or this way. Just a little bit. Same thing, just tapping on the side of the body. And it's the ribs, the lower rib side of the rib cage. And that's where our breathing muscle is sitting. Yeah, so we get a little bit of contact with the breathing muscle, the diaphragm at the sides, but it goes all the way around the base of the rib cage. So just giving a little bit, and that sound there, you might hear the sound. Yeah, get a bit more of that resonance, a bit deeper sound, because it's more on, potentially on the bony area of the body. Maybe not. And again, just relaxing the arms. So the arms might need a little bit of a break here, a bit more awkward getting to the side body. What it does for me is it just gives me a little bit of release for the breath. So if we get kind of in contact with that space, that diaphragm space, then we might be a little bit more clear where the breath is. So don't need to over breathe, but just notice any sensations of waking up around this area in the body. Find a little bit more space, a little bit more sensation. So some of us might find a deeper breath there, but don't strain to create that. If it makes you feel like you're going to cough, then just keep a subtler breath there. So it's good to grow the breath, but if we grow it too fast, then all that happens is we can start to cough a little bit and find a strain in the body. We want to do anything gradually around the breath and around movement that just means we can cope within our own range right now. Okay, so just using one hand now to have a little bit of contact with the upper chest and just a tap. So just tapping there, awakening, maybe kind of a reassuring tap on the body. Maybe we need a little bit of reassurance right now. And so it's a contact, it's a tapping, it's an awakening. It's feeling the vibration, it's feeling the contact. It's finding the right rhythm for us. And you can widen that out to a broader area along the chest. So again, it might feel like you're in a shower, a very strong shower, with water just coming down to refresh the body. And releasing the hands. So hopefully you don't feel like you're beating yourself up, but you feel like a bit more of a sensation across the front of the chest. Again, you might have a greater ease at finding and relaxing the breath, maybe not. So just softening in that area now, feeling the warmth and the sensation in the chest. Okay, so we're going to do one more area in terms of the tapping. We're going to go to the head. Yeah, so sorry if you just had your head up. So a little bit of tapping on the skull, on the head, and that might need to be really gentle. So again, that's like that same sensation of as if you're in the shower and you're feeling drops of water on your head. That's pleasant and awakening and refreshing. Or it might be, if you like, the sensation of washing your hair or someone else washing your hair. That sensation of just waking up that area on the skull. And we're almost like we're waking the brain up here. Not that I'm sure your brain was very active and it's very good for you. Okay, so a little bit just around the head. And then relaxing the hands down. So that's maybe a little bit stronger for the shoulders. And so just taking that in might make you be really aware of the headspace, which we're not that familiar with. Might be familiar with the head in terms of thinking, but maybe not the sensation on the head, which again, we want to relax that area ultimately for after the tapping, even if we don't feel it while we're doing it. I do feel it when I'm doing it, but maybe not everybody does. So feeling the sensations in the head, sensations in the chest again, side ribs, sensations in the legs, the arms, the hands. So we're just going to do a few softer movements with the arms to get this sense of fluid movements, bigger movements maybe than we were doing before. So we're going to choose our favourite hand and we're going to lift that hand off our lap and take it more towards the sky. And we're going to just float it back down. Let it land. Going to go with the same hand, floating that arm up. Returning it back to the support. Floating the arm up. And back down. So you may have done that with the breath, you may have just done that to see what the movement was like, you might have just taken a rhythm, you may have just followed my rhythm. So if you feel comfortable using the breath, then we can breathe in and sweep the arm up. And breathe out, taking the hand back down. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And rest the hand. Maybe a sigh, maybe just extra focus on the out breath to just relax the body. So the arm you use to just float up might feel different than the other hand or the other arm that's still settled. So we'll just start that movement. So you can make it almost like you're painting or you're dancing, whatever movement that kind of connects you with a bit more of a fluid movement. Fluid movement. At some point, if you want to bring the breath in, then breathing in to take the arm up. Breathing out as we bring the hand back down. If that's comfortable, if it's not so good for you, then you just let the breath be And let the movement be as soft and as fluid as you can. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time. Breathing in, breathing out. See how you feel in the body. Where you feel relaxed, where you feel awake. And maybe you feel awake and relaxed at the same time. That would be great. So bringing our hands, fingertips to touch and the heel of the hands together. You can have space between the fingers and the palms. And see how that feels, that contact. That feels in the shoulders. So let's see if we can have a little bit of a sense of having a lift through the spine, a bit more awake here. So I've come away slightly from the back of my chair, so if that feels comfortable, a little bit more. I've been awake, feeling awake in the body here. And then just let the arms float out to the side. And come back to center. Float out to the side. And come back to center. Float out to the side. Come back to center. Okay, so we could make the movement bigger. We could allow the hands to come down and then breathe in to take the arms up. Let the palms connect and you can't see the hand come back to center. So we're creating a circle in the air. Get the hands together and bring them back down to center. Release, take an in-breath. Out breath as the hands come together and you return to center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So settling in the center again. Okay. So we're going to finish on one more movement that's potentially will go a little bit further down. So if you feel comfortable doing that, obviously you can reach forward and get this sensation of going down towards the ground, gathering in. But if that's not as comfortable, then you stay here and you gather in here. So I'll show you the movement and you can just join in at any point. So I'm gathering in, I'm bringing up, and then the palms of the hands are above me, as if I've got water in my hands and that's refreshing the body. So I'm coming down, gathering in water maybe. This is just in your imagination. And then sensation of pouring that water gently over the body. I'm coming down, bringing up water, gathering up, and refreshing the body. Coming down, gathering up, and releasing. Coming down, gathering up, releasing. So one more. Coming down, gathering up, and refreshing. Arms soften and settle. A little bit of a wiggle, more like a dancing movement. So shoulders, hips. Everything gets a little bit of movement. Out off the chair. Okay. Maybe wriggling the toes. We've left the toes out a little bit today, so maybe wriggling the toes. Maybe laying outside. And settling again a little bit in center, returning to where we started. A little bit of energy in the hands, a little bit more awakening, a little bit waking to the sounds. And one final refreshment, if you wish to. But you might need to take, if you're wearing glasses, you might need to take glasses off. But if you wish to do this, it's just a little bit of hands on the forehead to just relax and loosen and refresh. Down the cheeks, just letting go any tension in the jaw, in the cheeks, around the eyes. And then back of the neck or around the sides of the neck, just relaxing, softening around the neck, around the throat, around the back of the tongue, around the shoulders maybe. Okay, so thank you for joining me. It's good to be back in the chair, as it were, and moving a little bit. So hopefully a little bit of soft relaxation, a little bit of awakening there was helpful for your day. So you can come back to this at any point. And yeah, hopefully see you again soon. So I'll be doing more of the chair yoga again as we move through autumn colours to winter colours. Okay, take care everybody, and wish you safety and good health. Take care.